So ACR is so yesterday. Tunity is today. Where do you see Tunity and companies of its type in capturing out of home tomorrow, 3 to 5 years from now?
Sure. So let me give you two parts of that answer. The first one, where do I see Tunity 3 to 5 years from now? I think, like I said, we're Zoom focused on enabling anyone to watch any TV out of home and hear it, and on the other hand, focused on creating that viewership data product for networks, and that's what we're doing now. I think Tunity as a technology and as a platform, and the way we see it 3 to 5 years from now, is enable any user, any consumer to connect with any video content wherever they are, at home, out of home, if it's TV, if it's digital signage. So imagine having that kind of minority report advertising that as you walk by, it's creepy, right? It's like, how do they know I'm here? But imagine, we have more and more screens around us. It's a fact of life. 99% of it, and some out-of-home people are not going to like it, 99% of it for each and every one of us is noise. But imagine I could actually choose to connect to what actually interests me. Imagine I could take my phone or my, someday Google Glass or whatever glass there is or wearable, take my phone, scan something that interests me. Okay, anything from, having a Beyonce concert on Times Square every day from 7 to 9, which, you don't need to disturb anyone with the audio, but you can go and you can hear Beyonce. Or, if Samsung has an ad for their new tablet and it's right there and I'm actually interested, whether I'm in a Best Buy or just seeing the sign when I'm waiting for the subway, and I can actually scan it and hear some engineer from Samsung talk about the tablet, and on the other hand, Samsung can actually know that I'm really interested in that and can, retarget me and give me a special offer maybe or some more information. So that's where I see Tunity 3 to 5 years from now, not only in the TV out-of-home measurement space, but in really taking that technology, growing it, scaling it, and enable any consumer to connect with content that they want to. And I think that actively opting in to saying, this is what interests me within, because I see market as a service to consumers, okay? If you're giving me something that's interesting to me and I end up buying it, you did me a service, because maybe I wouldn't have known about this product. And maybe I'm a little bit naive, but I think good marketing, that's what it should be. So if Tunity can enable you to actually connect to the things that are relevant to you, and by the way, the flip side of that is that marketers and advertisers will know what's interesting for each one of the segments, and we'll end up with the result would be in an optimized world is that I'll end up only seeing stuff that is interesting to me, because there are specific segments where riding the subway at 6 a.m. in New York, and marketers will be able to tailor that using our data. So I can talk a lot about this, but so that's one side. That's where I see Tunity 3 to 5 years. About TV measurement, so the popular thing I can say, no, TV is dead. It's linear is dead. It's all digital, but it's obviously that's not true. There was I think I read a research. Simul Media did a research and showing that in sheer dollars, linear TV is still growing faster than digital. Now, you shouldn't ignore digital because it's growing double digits, and it'll keep growing double digits because it makes sense. Why would I want something linear? But I think out of home specifically, or viewership out of home of TV is going to be a bigger part of the overall linear TV, because if you think about it, what do people watch linearly today? Mainly two things: sports and news. ESPN, like we said, 95% of their content is watched live, which makes sense. What is CNN or Fox News without reporting something live? Half an hour later, it's really not worth it. And that's what people are watching out of home. We can already see about 80% of what people watch out of home is exactly this: sports and news. And it makes sense, because that's what you watch when you're at the office, when you're at the airport, when you're at a sports bar, or even a gym. So I think even if linear TV is going to grow slower, it's still a huge market, $70-80 billion a year. And I think within that, out of home is going to actually grow relatively to the overall linear TV because of cord cutting, because of what people are watching.
What are some of the challenges that you face in
I
rolling
thought
this
you were
out?
going to repeat the previous question. So
No, it was a comment.
okay, no, but so to answer your comment/question, so we have 100 channels today. 3 months ago, we had 40 channels. We can keep adding. I'm just going to stop this. We can keep adding channels as we go. The technology is the same. It's just about scaling, and about choosing which channels are more relevant to our users. So in 6 months when we come out with our data product, we'll probably have 200 or 300 channels, which will cover most of what people watch out of home. So it's kind of by choice. But it's not a need. We're going to expand it.
And so what are some of the challenges you're facing in rolling this out?
So, yeah, I'm a very optimistic person, so it's hard to talk about challenges. Every challenge is an opportunity, right? But let's roll this. There's obviously the technological challenge, which we've been working on the last 2 years, and I see this as a blessing because the harder the problem you solve, the bigger the barriers you have to entry. I think it's I don't know if I would call it a challenge, but it's we're working in an industry that's relatively conservative, and it's not a judgment. It's you have to be conservative if your reputation relies on data, and introducing new data is hard. So we and again, it's not a challenge. We're a startup company. We need to move fast. We're in an industry that doesn't move as fast. So kind of timing our technology advancement with our go-to-market, with our discussions with TV networks and advertising, that's kind of some of the challenges I'm dealing with. And you have to align expectations of investors. Of closing the deal with XYZ network is not going to take 2 days, even if it makes so much sense. There's processes, there's people, you have to convince the right people. So I think kind of mitigating the pace of a startup and the pace that we have to take versus the pace of the industry, which is reasonably slow. I mean, I'm not blaming. These are big ships, and you don't want to steer them too quickly. So it's kind of like jiggling with when is the technology going to be ready versus when should I start talking to TV network versus what do I have to show them that will actually make them take me seriously.